Good morning. Welcome in to another installment of Your Life Matters with clinical social worker Dr. Beth Plachetka from Safe Harbor Counseling. And Dr. Beth speaks. And we welcome Dr. Beth to the studios again. Good morning, Doctor.
Hi, Mike. How are you?
Not bad. How are things?
I'm good on this May Day.
It is another May Day. We're in the middle of May, which is Mental Health Month. And last week we hit on some mental health hacks. That's kind of our theme for the month, to get people feeling better as we focus on this particular month. Of course, it's good all year long. Where do we go with today's show?
Well, today we're talking about how relationships help our mental health. You know, there's a real old song that said, love the one you're with. And ultimately what we need to do is love the people we're with. Now, some people are surprised when I don't necessarily mean like the people you're with, because we don't always. But love means that we want what's best for somebody else. Studies have shown, Mike, that if somebody counts on you, like, for example, if they need you to survive or need you to have a better life, and they matter to you and you matter to them, both people live longer, happier lives, because they have a purpose and something that's important, you know, beyond just collecting things. So we learn a lot in relationships. I mean, I'm guessing that you probably have. I know I have. Mm-hmm. But if we spell it out, you know, it's important that people know us all the way to the core, our weird quirks, and accept us anyway. And we find out in relationships that our presence gives safety to somebody else. When we talk about safety and mental health, we're talking about the ability to interact safely. Well, safely, I'm repeating it. But, you know, that gives us good mental health. We can interact freely. The other thing we learn is through intergenerational experiences. You know, I can't tell you how many of my former students have shown me how to use one aspect of some app on my phone, right. You know, and how grandparents learn something technological from their kids, and grandkids learn about games, and parents are relieved to have that break that they need, you know, that there is no right way to do it. It's a good way to do it. So we also learn a lot. You know, we have to change roles when we're in relationships. Like, we can't always be right. We find that out. We apologize. But we also, like when you have siblings, you have to learn to be assertive. It's my turn, you know, and we don't learn that with strangers. It's hard sometimes to accept authority, especially when you're like 15, 16 and your parents are still telling you no. And then you find out what it's like to become the authority and ask for help and provide help.
You suddenly learn how the roles change.
Oh, yeah.
5-10 years later.
Yeah, I know. It's amazing how sometimes they start making sense. But we have to do without things, you know, and sacrifice. The other day, one of the kids at the house said, hey, do you want the rest of my tea? To her sister. She goes, I spilled you, and there's none left for you, so you can have mine. And I thought that was so sweet.
Yeah, that's nice.
Yeah. So we have to learn to take care of ourselves. And all of that is that self-efficacy that I've talked about in the past. Now, Mike, I'm sure you've seen strangers at the grocery store.
All the time.
Has any one of them ever corrected you?
That does not usually, no.
No, usually, I mean, they might roll their eyes, they might...
Or laugh as they walk away. Or something.
Right, but, you know, that's a passing, we don't even exist really in their lives, and that's fine. We can't exist in everybody's life. But in relationships, we are held accountable. We get to be self-aware, self-reflective, we get to grow. And those things really help our mental health. I keep talking about people, but I don't know about anybody else or any of our listeners, but, you know, there's a special part of the family that's often furry and four-legged.
Yes.
Sometimes finned and wet. Our pets are huge in keeping us mentally healthy. That unconditional acceptance that they have for us, that they're always there. You know, when we would take our dogs to the groomers, so they'd be gone for a little while, when you come in, even though they had been sleeping anyway, you could tell they were gone because it was quieter.
Yeah.
Just their heartbeat wasn't there.
It's nice when they are away for a little bit. It gives you a bit of a break. They can be kind of a pain sometimes.
Oh, yeah.
But, oh, my goodness, when you walk in the door and they constantly run up to you and they're so happy to see you, it's just a...
And you did nothing except exist.
I just walked out to get the mail. I've only been
here.
gone 30 seconds. But, it's very nice.
So those relationships, though, with dogs or with pets and with people, what they actually help us do is not focus so much on ourselves. And being more general helps keep us mentally healthy. because our lives matter. We got to do these things.
Absolutely. Some good advice, and there's more that we probably could have gotten to. We could go on another 20 minutes. There's more resources, too, if you'd like to dive into this topic more at safeharboril.com. You can contact them with a phone call at 630-466-8657. Send an email to Beth at Beth Plachetka, LCSW, at safeharboril.com. All of that information online at the website. We will talk to you again next time with another edition of Your Life Matters at the same time next week.